Well, howdy ho, my peeps. I think it's a beautiful day for an apartment decor update. I'm sitting in the corner of my room and you can see that my walls got painted all the way to the top. I put my little chair rail line of metallic gold paint between the two colors of blue. We're all nicely painted back there behind the wood stove. And you will see above each window, that window and that window, the Cornice boxes. They are, I'll probably need to take them down because I have one more layer of paint to put on them, and I'll show you what that's gonna look like. But I thought I would take you on a little tour around the room. So let's start over here with the fabric I'm going to use for the curtains. I've been buying, when I find a roll of fabric for $3 or $4 or $5, I buy it. It's especially if it's in my colors like this is. I know that someday I will use it. If nothing else, I'll make tote bags or something. But anyhow, I thought that these two, I didn't have enough of either fabric, which is part of the problem. But I thought these two together might make a really nice window covering for the windows in this room. Now, I did have enough of this gorgeous sage green velvet, but it is a little too dull against the walls. My walls are more the color of that blanket that my friend Dorothy sent me. So yeah, so let's now come over here so you can see what the place looks like from this angle. I know it looks yellow on the screen, but that is actually a metallic gold, and it has a beautiful gold sheen to it. When you look at it, it's lovely. Now, let me tell you the story of this tea cart. Gotta sit down. Gotta sit down for this story. So this beautiful tea cart was advertised on Facebook Marketplace. The reason I bought it is because my son and I didn't want to install one of those hanging TV brackets. We thought it would just ruin the look. So he said, let's get a cart. And I said, well, you just gave me a job I can handle. So I found this marvelous little cart. We'll put our flat screen on it. I will figure a way to attach the legs so it doesn't wobble around. And we can put the sound bar and that kind of junk down underneath. Okay, super cool, right? This is one of two that I bought from the same lovely woman. She lives in a high desert town in Southern California. And she had this one and another one advertised for, which I will show you as well. But she advertised them both for $90 for the pair. Well, I did some research, and these things are not cheap. They weren't fine furniture when they were built. They were just little occasional pieces you could buy, but they've held their value and increased in value, oddly enough. So Grant, my knight in shining pickup truck, drove all the way down to Southern California and picked them up for me. Bless his heart. So that's the story on our TV tray. Let's see, you're not going to be able to see the detail in these Cornice boxes, unfortunately, because of the glare. You can kind of see that they've got a bit of a, what would you call that? Texture on the front and the sides. I just glued some texturized wallpaper on that and painted the whole thing, and they've got a lovely crown molding at the top and just a simple molding at the bottom. So we got two of them, and the Lord is with me because I happen to have enough of it to do all around my door. So I will be painting that long piece to match the cornices above. However, like I said, they're not done yet. And here's why. This is that cornice with a wash of gold. I think it's stunning. I think it's perfect. So that piece you're looking at will be painted in the same fashion. And I'm going to take these oh, no, you can see it better there. I'm going to take these cornice boxes down, do the same thing, and put them back up. That will reflect light much better. Oh, I've been messing around with air dry clay because I splurged, guys, and I ordered a bunch of these silicone, I ordered 6 of them. These are 3 silicone molds that you can use for, well, pretty much everything. Paper clay, air dry clay, resin, cookies. It's food safe. Well, just to play around, I made a few little things. The other day, this angel, let her spell out love, and then this little thing. And I'll probably paint that, give it a pretty little antique wash paint, and glue it onto a piece of board and, you know, stick it on my Etsy site. Anyhow, so that's what I'm doing so far. We did get all of this painted back behind. I didn't worry about doing a two-tone paint with a stripe because we are going to tile this back here. So you won't, you know, why take all the time to paint, right? Okay, so now I'm coming in the kitchen. Alrighty, so I want you to carefully look at that piece of counter that goes from the stove to that small little step back. That is 59 inches by 25 inches or so. So remember that. I also want you to take a look at this stove with its little thing on the side. And I want you to remember that because I'm going to come back and tell you a story about this. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Nothing new to show you. This is just another angle of the room. So yeah, here we are, and I'm getting excited. All right, so let's back to the cabinet. So, like I said to you, I want you to, think back to what I said about the width of the counter in the kitchen. This is just shy of that width by about 1 inch, this thing. It's raised up off the ground with some bun feet, but those can be removed. And I'm giving very serious consideration to turning this into the counter where my sink is. This tabletop here, the top of this buffet deal, comes off. In fact, it's almost off now. And I'm thinking about taking this off. It has warped, which I didn't realize that this thing was warped when I bought it originally. Not that it would have made a difference. I would have bought it anyway. But that top is warped. So I'm thinking about taking that off, replacing it with, you know, the stuff you use to tile on, green board or whatever. And then, so I would have my kitchen sink here in the center and tiled on either side. Then the stove is over on this side. Now, I'm thinking about taking, let's move this back. Taking that, see, it's real light too. Taking this section and using it as over the sink cabinets. In other words, the top would be flush with the ceiling and that back would be flush with the wall, and that would give me, you know, quite a bit of space between the tiled section and then where the cabinet would stop for, you know, headroom and all that. But I'm thinking, obviously what I'm trying to describe to you is I'm going to use this as kitchen cabinetry. That is what I think I'm going to do. So you say to me, well, you know, if you put the whole thing together and, well, it really needs some re-gluing. If you put it all together, Cheryl, then you can turn around and sell it. I'm not going to sell it. That isn't why I got it. I got it to use it and to use it for something that I'm going to love. So that's what's happening. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and reglue it and turn it into my kitchen cabinetry. I'm going to turn this around so I can see you. So yeah, I'm going to blow out that ugly cabinet. Now, I'm going to do something else that sounds going to sound wrong, I'm sure, but trust me, you're going to love it. Okay. I've got that electric stove, 4 burners, only one of which works, and an oven. I think what I'm going to do is yank that out of there. Just get rid of it. Well, yeah, I'll get rid of it because it doesn't work anyway. And I am going to install an antique stove. One of the stoves that came from like between 1905 and 1930, right in there. It was mostly in the early 20s. They're stoves that they were up off the ground. They had like little sort of cambriole, I think they call it, legs. And there would be a tall oven section, and then down beside that there would be a cooktop of some kind. You can find these suckers all over Facebook, eBay, Craigslist, all those places. They're everywhere now. And so instead of using the existing appliance, I want to move that stove in so it will be next to this beautiful cabinet arrangement. And that stove is going to house my electric appliances that I use for cooking. I use a hot plate, I use an electric kettle, I use an Instant Pot, and I use a crock pot, and I use an air fryer. And so I can store many of those things inside or on or underneath that oven. So I'll satisfy my desire to see more antiques in the room, and yet it's not going to make a difference in how I actually function when I use that kitchen. I'm going to switch out the cabinet that's in there. It's a 50s style, mid-century little cabinet. I'm going to switch that out with an antique that I have at my house, a big, tall china closet that will harmonize nicely with the hunter's cabinet. And then at that point, I'll probably stop for a while and kind of think, what else I might want to do in there. So that is my plan, and I am sticking to it. So I better flip on these lights and get some work done. I will talk to you guys later.